دعاة رب السماء يا من صنعتم في الأرض نورا.
I'm not going to take a lot of time reading the Quran or the verses of the Quran talking about justice and showing the importance of this value. We're going to spend, inshallah, but we have to read some of the ayah, and then inshallah we're going to get some stories that shows how the Muslims and how Islam are framing justice. What ideas that Islam having justice, and try to compare between justice in Islam and justice nowadays. Just for some examples. Maybe we're not going to go deep or in details into the ideas or the images that we have about justice nowadays in this world. But we're going to have some examples, and we can understand what maybe inshallah we can get with this short examples, some idea about this topic. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will say in the Quran, by the way, just before the Quran, Allah al-adl, we say justice is having the meaning of al-adl. Al-adl is not a name it's not one of the names of Allah. Most of the ulama say it's one of the characteristics of Allah. But there's other names for Allah that includes al-adl, includes justice, like al-qist, al-qasid. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which is maybe having more than or deeper meaning than al-adl. Like we know Allah al-Razzaq who is giving rizq. But there's another name for Allah, al-Muqit. Al-Muqit is the guarantor for rizq. The one who gives you a confirmation, guarantee for rizq. See, subhanallah. So Allah, brothers, in the Quran say, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وتمت كلمة ربك صدقا وعدلا. That's in Surah Al-An'am 115. And the word of Allah has been fulfilled in truth and in justice. That's the meaning of the ayah. And there's actually another ayah in Surah Ibrahim. Allah says, بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم ولا تحسبن الله غافلا عما يعمل الظالمون إنما يؤخرهم ليوم تشخص فيه الأبصار مهطعين مقنعي رؤوسهم لا يرتد إليهم طرفهم وأفئدتهم هواء. Never think that Allah is unaware of the zalim. When we talk, brother, about adl, we take the opposite of adl. We have to talk about the opposite of adl, which is the zulm. And zulm is an Urdu word. It's available in the language, in the Urdu language, and in many languages. Tyranny, oppression in English. Got many other meanings. But we all understand in the Quran and Arabic language, dhulm, al-dhulm. Yeah, some other Arabic accents, they say zulm. So Allah said, never think that Allah is unaware of what the zalim is doing. Yeah, see, but He gave them some time. And He is give him a chance if he can stop from his dhulm or keeps going. And he get the result for it. He has to face the consequences of what he is doing. So another ayah, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا كونوا قوامين لله شهداء بالقسط ولا يجرمنكم شنآن قوم ألا تعدلوا اعدلوا هو أقرب للتقوى واتقوا الله إن الله سميع عليم. Allah says, ولا تحسبن الذين قتلوا في سبيل الله أموات بل أحياء عند ربهم يرزقون. اعدلوا هو أقرب للتقوى. Allah, Sadaqallah al-Azim. Allah says, "O you who believe, stand out firmly for Allah and just witness and be just witnesses." Yeah. And let not any enmity and hatred of others make you avoid justice. Because brothers, sometimes when you hate somebody, or we Muslims, by the way, we don't hate people. We might hate or dislike their behaviors, but we never hate them. Yeah. We dislike their behaviors. We don't like the behaviors of others, but we don't hate. The word hatred is not in our dictionary, the Muslim dictionary, the Muslim terminology. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, yeah, is asking and urging us, even if we hate somebody or hate his behaviors, or we have enmity between us and any nation, we should be just when we judge or when we say. So, and Allah said in the day of the Qiyamah, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم ونضع الموازين القسط ليوم القيامة فلا تظلم نفس شيئا. We shall set up balances of justice on the day of resurrection or the day of the Qiyamah. Then none will be dealt with unjustly in anything. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to put these balances on the day of the Qiyamah to weigh up our good deeds and the bad deeds. And they are the best, and they're all built on justice. They're all built on justice because Allah is just. So, brothers, and give a full measure when you measure. Allah asks us, وَأَوْفُوا الْكَيْلَ إِذَا كِلْتُمْ وَزِنُوا بِالْقِسْطَاسِ الْمُسْتَقِيمِ ذَلِكَ خَيْرٌ وَأَحْسَنُ تَأْوِيلًا. This is in Surah Al-Isra. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asks us to give full measures when we measure and weigh with a balance that is straight, that's good and advantageous and better in the end. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, brother, as well is asking us to return the trusts or the deposits or the amana to the owners. All of this, brother, are like commandments about the importance of justice. If you go through the Quran, you can hardly find one page without having a talk or a speech or what Allah says about the justice and zulm, the opposite of justice. Brothers and sisters, the important thing is to know in Islam that justice is built on some factors which are different from the justice on the other life, which means this life, the dunya, the life we are living nowadays. Yeah, and Allah asked us and our Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, urging and showing the importance of justice to be expressed in three things: when you talk, when you work or do something, and when you judge things. When you judge things, if you want to talk or to do something or to judge anything, all should be based on justice in Islam. And justice is based on the Quran, on the discipline of the Quran, the discipline of Islam, on the verses of the Quran, on the book, on this holy book, which is giving us the correct and the best basis of justice on the whole world and on the life after. If you read and gave us the way how to say things based on equality and justice, the way of how to do things on the same base, and the way how to judge things according to the Quran. All according to the Quran. All according to Sunnah. All of these things according to the Prophet ﷺ and the Sahaba. Brother, and At the time of Dawood alayhi salam, Prophet Dawood alayhi salatu was salam, there was a lady. She used to do, she's a widow, and she's caring for three kids. Yeah. And at that time, that lady used to work trading, selling, preparing balls of wool, you know, the wool, which is used for making clothes. This lady was making this wool and get them ready after 2 3 months working hard to get a ball of wool. And she goes to the market, sell this ball of wool. Yeah, they make the wool from the skin and the hair of the animals, you know that. So she takes the ball of wool, go to the market, sell it, and get the money for that. Take the money and buy some food for her kids. On the way, she's having this ball on her head and going to the market. A bird came and take this food. A bird. Can I have just a tissue, please? Yeah. Yeah. A bird was flying, and this bird took that that bowl, you see, and he's gone. Thank you very much. And he's gone. This lady, it's a big disaster for her. It's not a problem. It's a disaster for her. You imagine when you work 2 3 months on something to feed your kids, and you find a bird comes, take this or something, take this and run away from you. She went to Prophet Dawood and asked him the first question: is your God just? Where is the justice of your God? You're always telling us that your God is just. So what happened to you? Why are you talking like this about Allah? Allah is the creator of justice. Come, sit here. Why are you saying this? She said, how come if Allah really just, how come he accepts what happened to me when he knows that I'm working to feed my kids? Just Dawood, brother, he has just finished. Before he said anything, the door was knocked. Somebody knocking the door. This man, he came and said to Dawood, this is 100,000 dirham, 100,000 dinar. They used to use dinar in the past, and this is sadaqah. This is from us. When Prophet Dawood asked him, what's that for? He said, we are 10 businessmen in a boat, and the boat was having a hole in the middle of the sea. And we're going to die. I'm going to lose our life and lose our trade and lose everything. So we all ask Allah, if each one of us, if Allah save us from death and save us in this boat, we promise each one of us to give 10,000 dinar for the sake of Allah, as He saved us. So suddenly we found this bird is having this bowl of wool, and he dropped this in our boat, and we used it, and we locked the hole until we arrived at the beach. Then he got the money and gave this widow this money and said, you see, this is more than what you expected. This is for you. He gave the 100,000 for that lady. One more thing, brother. This is justice. This is the equality of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. لا تحسبن الله غافلا. We don't think that Allah doesn't know. He knows. He sees us. He knows everything about us. Umar ibn Abdul Aziz, brothers, he is called like the fifth caliphate of Islam. He is one of the people, one of the princes or the Khalifa who've been actually well known by his justice. Yeah, Umar ibn Abdul Aziz, brothers, he came one day. He's getting inside a dark place, which is a mosque. Yeah, they say it's a mosque. when he is getting inside the mosque, his feet, yeah, he put his feet on one of the arms of the people who are sleeping in the mosque. What did that man say? And Umar ibn al-Khattab said, he's a caliphate, he's a khalifa, he's a well-known person. Yeah, you imagine, I can't compare him with the leaders nowadays. It's haram. You see? So what the man wake up and he said, "Are you blind? What are you doing?" There's a man, the companion of, he's a soldier, the companion of Umar ibn Abdul Aziz. He couldn't afford what this man is saying to the Khalifa. He said, "Can you give me please a chance to give this man a lesson and to teach him how to be polite when he is talking to you?" What do you think Umar ibn Abdul Aziz said? He said, no, don't interfere. Let me answer him. He asked me, "Are you blind?" And I told him, "No, brother, I'm not blind, but the place is dark, and wallah, I couldn't see you. That's why forgive me." What if this thing happens, brother, with one of the leaders nowadays? You can't imagine what's going to happen to this man. This is the justice of Islam. He will be shot, I know, or will be imprisoned. I will never see him at all. We're going to be his last day. You see, we're just having some examples to check to see, well, this is the justice in judgment, the justice in talking, this is the justice in dealing with people. Umar ibn al-Khattab radiallahu anhu, brother, one day he's going out from his house and he found 5 nice sheep, very nice sheep, fat sheep, nice, yeah, they look very nice. Then he came and asked, "Whose sheep are these?" They say, "This is your son's." So, "Whose son?" They say, "Abdullah." He called Abdullah, "Come here. Is this sheep for you? Are these yours?" He said, "Yes, Dad." "So where you get them from?" He said, "Wallahi, from my halal money." Abdullah ibn Umar, brother. You know who is Abdullah ibn Umar? We all know Abdullah ibn Umar. A lot of hadith coming from Abdullah ibn Umar. Yeah, radiyallahu an. "Wallahi, they all from my money." Telling his dad. He said, "I know they are from your money, but you know how these sheep get fat and they became better than the sheep of the other people? Because you go and sell them, take your capital and put the rest in the box of the zakah for Muslims." He said, "Why?" "My money." He said, "Allah, I know that's your money. You use your money, and they are halal money. I know that. But you know how your sheep getting better than the sheep of the other people? Every time they come to a place to eat, people used to say, "Oh, keep your sheep away from the sheep of the son of Amir al-Mu'mineen to eat." That's why they became fat and they became better than the sheep of the others. Who's doing this, brothers, nowadays? Who? Is there any prince or any president or any governorate or any councillor or any whatever who is doing this? Where we can find, brother, this kind of justice? Where? Ali ibn Abi Talib radiallahu anhu, brother, he left his shield in a place. And when he get into the shop to buy something, he went out, he found somebody is holding, a Jewish man holding his shield and going out, walking. He came to him. "This is my shield." He said, "No, this is my shield." They have an argument, they went to the judge. What did the judge say? "Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen, do you have any witness that this shield is for you?" He said, "No." He asked the Jewish man, "What do you say? Is this your shield or Amir al-Mu'mineen's one?" or Amir al-Mu'mineen's shield. He say, Amir al-Mu'mineen is not a liar, but the shield is mine. You see? He didn't say he's a liar. He knows he's an honest man, but he doesn't have witnesses. That's the rule of Islam. If he got witnesses to prove that this shield is for him, I don't mind giving it to him. Then what? What did the judge say? Amir al-Mu'mineen, sorry, this is not your shield. Take your shield to the Jewish man. And he took the shield and he went out. When he went out, Amir al-Mu'mineen accepted the rule of Islam, the judgment of Islam, and he went out. The Jewish man was waiting for him, and he asked him, can I ask you please a question? He said, yes. He went to ask Ali ibn Abi Talib radiallahu anhu. He said, is this your deen? He said, yes, of course, that's our deen. He said, Allah, I have to be a Muslim. That's the best deen. That's why, brother, and when Ali ibn Abi Talib is sitting with his son Al-Hasan bin Ali, his son, you know what Al-Hasan said? He's sitting, and a couple of boys coming to Al-Hasan, each one got his own drawing. And they asked Al-Hasan, which one is better than the other? They asked him. He didn't know what to say. Little boys getting two drawings or paintings, and I can't judge. He feel it's not easy to judge between them. Then he looked at his dad, Ali ibn Abi Talib, and he laughed. What did Ali ibn Abi Talib told him? He said, judge them fairly. Wallahi, you're going to be asked about this on the day of Qiyamah. Allahu Akbar. Even these little things, brother, even these little things, we're going to be asked about them on the day of the Qiyamah. So, brother, where can we find these examples of justice, which are there's a lot of examples. Where can we find these examples of justice and fairness in our current life? Where? In the current life, brother, they have what's so-called the international law, or human rights law, or the rules for women's rights, or for kids' rights. And look what happened to kids around the earth now. Look what happened to women. Look what happened to people. Why? Because this law is basically set up and established by the people who got the power. They put this law not for themselves. They put this law and these rules for us. They ask us to implement these laws, not them. And if we don't implement them, they punish us. You have to follow their own rule. You have to follow their own law. Because they have the power. That's it. Is it because it's fair? No. Just because they have the power. At the time of the Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam, the people of the Kitab, the people who've been following other Kitab, when you used to have a problem, they came to the Prophet. Like the Jews, they are people of Kitab. Christians, people of Kitab. And even, I'm not talking about the people who don't have the Kitab, the book, the people of the Torah, the people of the Bible, they call the people of the Kitab, the people of the book. Because they got a holy book. They used to have a holy book. When they have a problem, they used to come to the Prophet to judge between them. Why are you coming to the Prophet? Why are you coming to Islam to judge between you? When you have your own book, when you have your own judgment, when you have your own rules, when you have your own laws, why you come to Islam? Because they know that Islam is judging them fairly. Now, brother, where you can, is there any ummah who is following even the rules of Allah in judgment? Even if we go to the courts, even in the Muslim world, you know what kind of things adopted from Islam in the law? The rules, they call them civilian rules. The civilian rules, the rules which is related to control marriage, heritage, because they are difficult. They are very difficult people. They can't actually create the correct and the fair rules and implement them happily and with satisfaction between people, unless they are coming from Allah. Because when you have a problem and I ask you to come, and me and you, we go in front of the judge and the judge have his judgment. First thing we think, who's putting this rule? Whose judgment is this? Our judge can easily convince both of us. If we are really Muslims and believe in Islam, he can say, this is the judgment of Allah. That's what Allah said, and that's what his Prophet ﷺ said. We keep silent and we accept what the judge has said. So, brothers, this value is one of the most important human values that we are lacking nowadays. The lack of justice makes people doing all of the bad things in this life and committing all evil in this life. Inshallah, I don't want to take a lot of your time. I think that will be, inshallah, enough for this time. And inshallah, Allah will help us to be just between our kids and just with our wives and with our friends, and we'll be just with our even people, all of the people, whether they are Muslims or non-Muslims, brother. That's what our Deen asks us to do, to have fair judgment and fair dealing with Muslims and non-Muslims. Jazakum Allah khair. Barakallah fiikum.